Human history and our current reality shows that mankind has a limited intelligence and that we can't take care of our world. We don't have the ability to understand everything, and our mind is susceptible to many types of mental illness, like delirium of grandeur. I mean, the overestimation of ourselves, a conviction of an unlimited power of our intelligence. This illness can reach pathological states. This disease does not discriminate either race or sex and has caused more suffering to the majority of human race to conform the will of a minority. This happens not only to political leaders but also to all those who think they can understand everything. For example, the reason of why there is evil in the world. People that presume to understand this shows an out of proportion self-esteem of their intelligence. People with this overestimation of the understanding has a problem to consider that there is a wisdom that goes far beyond human being and does everything well, although in a way incomprehensible to our understanding. History also shows that humans are easy to be programmed. What we know is about the suffering that a few cause and are causing to a majority. For example, the same techniques that were used by the Nazis are now being used in a much more subtle way by the corporations. Their advertising teams have an interdisciplinary personnel well prepared to turn us into compulsive consumers since we started watching TV, even though they know that the planet's resources are being depleted and that only 10% of humanity can attain the standard of living they propose. This injustice creates all kinds of violence in addition to wars over oil and other natural resources. Today, a few bankers and executives of more or less 50 corporations run the media worldwide, therefore the subconsciousness of many people. Their economic power enables them to buy any president or company in any country and make the laws in those countries for their benefit, extracting natural resources for a very low prices, while citizens do business as usual. Their power increases as well as their technological capabilities. Finally, we will end up like the indigenous people from America. By the way, we didn't do much for them, and everybody knows about this. I guess our lesson will be to go through the same experience, so next time we learn how to be more merciful in equal circumstances. Through the media, corporations are corrupting and exacerbating our subconscious instinctive impulses, leaving out the spiritual side of humanity. For spiritual, I mean what is human in mankind, our ability to take responsibility and follow our conscience. Everybody knows that the good choice is the one that is not dictated by the impulses. So far, we have tried to explain what we know about the suffering in the world caused by man himself, and also showed evidence of the inability of our intelligence to understand why God allows all this. Therefore, anybody who accuses God for any evil believes that man can have an unlimited intelligence, may be equal to God. That is a delirium of grandeur. What we do know is that Christ, in the Gospel of John, chapter 16, verse 33, already warned us that we will suffer in the world, but he also added that we should be confident because he has already defeated the world. In Luke 10, verse 3, he warned us that good people will be sent to this world as lambs among wolves. In our first video, To Believe or Not to Believe, I asked not to include in this discussion the church history. We are trying to make others to know the person of Christ and who he is, not his family. All families have some relatives that make us all ashamed of. But there are also church members who have shown themselves to be saints. Jesus also teaches us in Mark's Gospel, chapter 7, verse 20, that what comes out of man, that's what contaminates man. Because inside the hearts of all men comes all evil intentions, rapes, robberies, murders, adulteries, greed, wickedness, envy, arrogance, and many others. All of these perversions come from within men. Our interpretation of this was explained in part 1 of Believe or Not to Believe. Blaise Pascal said that the heart has reasons that reason doesn't know. To read the New Testament without prejudice is a challenge. If someone is looking for the truth, has to read it several times to reach deep and with a humble attitude, with a recognition that our reason is not perfect and our logic is limited. More info in www.cristo.fm.